Coming up, a new immigration rule is changing international students' duration of stay at universities across the U.S.
Plus, after a year-long wait, UTRGV football has returned along with new dining options. All the latest information on KVAQ Sports.
And in honor of National Dog Day, meet the canine friends keeping our university safe later in the newscast.
KVAQ-TV starts now.
Welcome back, Vaqueros. I'm Dayton Trevino.
And I'm Samara Flores. Today is Wednesday, August 26th, and this is the first fall edition of KVAQ-TV. We hope everyone had a great summer.
Let's start today's newscast with our top story. A change to immigration regulations will impact international students starting this fall semester. With more on the story, Ian Juarez.
The most prudent thing to do for an upcoming graduate is to kind of get all those ducks in a row prior to your date of graduation.
Starting September 15th, the Department of Homeland Security will enforce new rules for students on F1 and J1 academic visas. Rather than staying until their schooling is complete, international students will be given a set amount of time to complete their studies, not to exceed 4 years. This change also sees the 60-day grace period to stay in the country after studies finish reduced to 30 days. Attorney at law at R. Ramirez Attorneys and Counselors, Ricardo Ramirez, says it's important to create a plan well ahead of your graduation date, as there is no way to tell when this policy is going to change.
They would change majors, and I guess USCIS or immigration decided to stop that.
Ramirez says the new policy is just another expression of the current administration's policies and how they are trying to be more controlling with immigration benefits.
For the student to see what kind of employment prospects they have, maybe start on working on some sort of optional practice training, or working with an employer to see if they can get a professional visa after their studies are done.
Any international student who may need an extension of stay will have to apply via U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services rather than their school. The UTRGV website highlights several academic restrictions international students should be aware of, including limited time for language training, restrictions on school transfers and changing majors, and starting a same level or lower level degree post-graduation. When asked for an interview, International Student Services was unable to provide an interview at this time. Senior Vice President for University Marketing and Communications, Patrick Gonzalez, said the following when asked for an interview. UTRGV is reviewing the new federal regulations and will provide appropriate guidance to affected international students. Questions regarding the federal policy and its requirements are best directed to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Ramirez says the best advice he can give is for people to stay informed.
When their status expires, if there's anything that could potentially pose a risk or compromise that status, right? All of that needs to be accounted for. And if they need to seek legal help, obviously, immigration attorney can provide more specific analysis and opinions on how to proceed with their specific case.
Any international students needing additional help can contact UTRGV International Student Services at 956-882-7092 or 956-665-2922. Or visit them in person on the Edinburgh campus at the Mary Alice Sherry Shivers Building or on the Brownsville campus at the main building. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Ian Juarez.
The Trump administration announced changes to an early education program, leaving the new rules up to the states. Alyssa Mendoza with the details.
The Head Start standards have been unchanged for almost 63 years until now. However, a nonprofit local organization, Niños Incorporations, are determined to make this transition as smooth as possible. While the exact changes for the program are still in the process of becoming approved, we can be certain of a few that will take effect. Deputy Director of Niños Incorporations, Eri Tejada, says these changes will allow the program to become more flexible.
They would rely more on state standards rather than federal standards when it comes to things such as staff-child ratio, health requirements, family engagement. Probably more flexibility in not as much documentation as required before. So those are some of the areas of flexibility, less administrative tasks.
As of now, the changes in discussion are pending approval based on the level of improvement and benefit to the program. When these changes will take effect is still unknown, but the Office of Head Start and Niños Incorporation are deciding on the most beneficial improvements.
Main benefit is that there may be more access to other benefits. Yes, there are some changes, but like I said, we're just going to be cautious and really before it becomes in effect.
Niños Incorporation is working to make sure these changes benefit the family and the program.
No, the Head Start is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere, and so the doors are still open.
Parents are encouraged to keep up with the Head Start updates. Niños Incorporation says it's supporting families through the transition. You can reach Niño Incorporations at 956-361-1451. For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, I'm Melissa Mendoza.
IDEA Public Schools have announced its new Classroom IDEA initiative in collaboration with UTRGV that aims to help autistic students get any classroom services they might need. Multimedia journalist Gabriela Sandoval with the story.
With the full intent of delivering high-intensity interventions so that we can make monumental growth in a short amount of time.
IDEA Public Schools and UTRGV have partnered together to create 3 classrooms where students on the spectrum can be serviced in a high-frequency capacity by speech-language pathologists, occupational therapists, and board-certified behavioral analysts. College of Education and P16 Integration Associate Professor Noe Ramos has been leading the research in this grant to investigate the effects of these services on the acceleration of students' learning capabilities to ensure that children with autism can build foundational skills that will help them in the classroom and that they can carry with them back home. Regional Vice President of Special Programs Ashley Wheeler says that she is looking forward to the new additions that will be coming to the classrooms.
We're trailblazing just a great opportunity and innovating new services to students. And in a few short weeks, we're really excited to have UTRGV therapists join our classroom and embed into our culture to provide services to students.
Ramos says that parents and educators have always asked for additional support for their children. Senior Principal at Idea Quest Academy, Blanca Garza, has noted the importance of the positive developments that these classrooms are producing.
It's definitely something that we need in more schools, and so the impact that we have seen, or the positive role that we have seen, is we're serving as the model that hopefully will lead into more campuses establishing this in other schools.
IDEA educators encourage that more parents take the step to enroll their children in these classrooms to ensure their children get the help and care that they need. For KVAQ in Edinburgh, Gabriela Sandoval.
Good morning, Vaqueros. My name is Ian Juarez, and I'm here with this week's edition of KVAQ Sports. While the Vaqueros football team is gearing up for its second season, so is the UTRGV dining services, with some new flavors for fans to enjoy this fall at the Robert and Janet Vacker Stadium. The department invited KVAQ-TV to a catering showcase to preview the new foods and beverage offerings. Select concession stands will now offer walking nachos and fajita tacos, while the Cattle Drive Barbecue Club, located near the north end zone, will include a new cattle dog, brisket sliders, and a loaded brisket potato. The Yellow Spur, which offers lemonade near Gate 3, has a wide variety of flavors, from classic Mexican lollipop, gold mangonada, and dragon rosa. General Manager for UTRGV Dining Services, Luis Arguzman II, says the goal of this New Year's menu is to emphasize South Texas flavors.
They really wanted to bring in a South Texas identity now that we have one season under our belt, but at the same time adding our own twist on it at UTRGV Dining.
Fans in stadium suites and campus events can also expect to find whiskey glazed short ribs, guajillo garlic potato bites, and foecha on the menu. When UTRGV football kicks off this weekend at the Vacker Stadium, it seems like fans will not only have a new season to enjoy, but new bites and beverages, as well as a new expansion. Earlier this year, UTRGV Athletics announced its plans to expand the Robert and Janet Vacker Stadium South End Zone by approximately 1,500 seats. With the expansion, the overall capacity of the Vacker Stadium will now be 13,498, up from 12,000 last season. The UTRGV student section is now entirely located in the south end zone with a capacity of 3,250, up from 3,000. The new student section will be completed before the first game of the season this Saturday. Speaking of which, the Vaqueros may have closed out their first season strong, going undefeated 7-0 at home with a 9-3 overall. But that success comes with a new set of expectations and goals for the team. Here's our multimedia sports journalist, Steven Gutierrez, with how football is gearing up for its return.
As a team, win the conference and compete for a national title.
After making history in their inaugural season, UTRGV football is no longer trying to make a name for themselves. Now, the team is aiming toward proving they were only getting started. However, head coach Travis Bush says the Vaqueros had to first lay the groundwork again.
I mean, really everything. Just building, start from scratch. You start over. You start building the unity. You start building the foundation of everything we've done, and really just taking 1 week at a time.
Over the summer, the Vaqueros football team put in the work to ensure another successful season. Junior linebacker Jaden Haygood says he feels the team has made improvements since the previous season, especially on the defensive end.
This team is way further than last year. We're running way more plays on defense. We're doing way more audibles. We're doing way more adjustments to help us in the run and pass game.
Bush says the defensive backfield was a point of concern after losing several starters from the previous season. But the head coach says new players are already starting to step up.
They're gelling. They're back. They got experience. But biggest thing, they got confidence. They play with that confidence every snap.
That sense of confidence is also carrying over to the offense as well. Sophomore wide receiver Corey Holmes says his improvements came after strengthening his work ethic.
I realized like a big part about me was my work ethic. Me being an incoming freshman, thinking not really gonna see the field, so I'm just kind of going through the days instead of just actually putting in the work, putting in the time, and just putting in the effort to work on my game and get better.
For the Corpus Christi native, he says one of his goals this season is representing where he came from.
It feels great coming from Corpus, knowing that a lot of the guys from Corpus don't get this opportunity to play at the next level. So it just feels good to get out here and show them that it's actually possible to make a D1 coming from Corpus.
The Vaqueros will have their first test of the season August 29th when they welcome UT Permian Basin to the Robert and Janet Vacker Stadium. Just a week later, UTRGV will make program history again when they travel to the Alamo Dome to face UT San Antonio, the team's first ever matchup against an FBS opponent. Some players like Haygood are already getting pumped up for the second week.
You know, I try to take it one game at a time, but if I had to point out and say someone I'm really excited to play is going back home and playing in Alamo Dome. I'm from San Antonio, so going back home and playing in Alamo Dome, which I played in a few times in high school, is definitely a goal of mine and is definitely on my calendar.
However, Bush says before they get to San Antonio, the Vaqueros know the focus has to stay on the first game. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Steven Gutierrez.
UTRGV Athletics made a few changes to its football ticketing process after a new partnership. Football home game tickets will now go on sale at 8 a.m. the Monday on the week of the game at utrgvtickets.com. On the Thursday ahead of the game, student guest tickets can be claimed if available. And football tickets will now be scanned via NFC as spectators enter the stadium. For a longer list of changes, visit utrgv.com. Now, to pass the ball to a different sport. The UTRGV men's soccer team entered its 2026 season earlier this month, now playing under a new conference with new goals. After spending the last season as an NCAA Division I independent, the Vaqueros have joined the Ohio Valley Conference this year. Head coach Brahim Hancock says his team is stepping onto the pitch with something to compete for, a conference championship.
This year, that excitement is different because you have that cup that you can hold at the end of the season, and you have 2 opportunities to do it, and then you have something you can play postseason beyond that, NCAA. So we have real aspirations and goals this year.
According to an August 6th UTRGV Athletics press release, the Vaqueros are projected to reach the conference tournament as per the OVC preseason poll. Senior forward Muhammad Puyi says the team wants to focus on success this season to make that expectation a reality.
Part of like our first year in this conference, winning the regular season or the tournament.
Senior midfielder Eduardo de Oliveira echoes that statement and says the team leaders are putting in the work to strengthen the group this year.
So yeah, I think everyone has a stronger mentality right now. You know, me, Pui, the captains, we're trying to, create this stronger mentality to keep everyone together because, it's a long season and, we just have to keep going.
Hancock says the Vaqueros showed strong offense during the preseason, but that the team's success will also depend on staying organized defensively as well.
Last year we scored no goals in preseason. This year we score multiple in one match. So can we do that again tomorrow, right? That'll be the question. If we can do that, then I think we feel good about what we can do down that end of the field. Now it's just making sure defensively we're organized, and that's all 11 guys on the field, right?
UTRGV continues its 2026 season on the road against the University of South Florida at 6 p.m. on September 6th in Tampa.
Thank you for joining me for the first KVAQ Sports of the semester, Vaqueros. Let me kick the ball back to Dathan.
Thank you, Ian. Today is National Dog Day, recognizing four-legged friends as family and, in some instances, lifesavers. KVAQ-TV met with campus police to meet the canine officers keeping UTRGV safe.
Patrolling the Edinburgh campus alongside Officer Isaac de la Garza is his canine partner, Aika.
Yeah, she's great. Nothing I can complain about her.
An 8-year-old German Shepherd, de la Garza says Aika is trained to detect explosives, helping authorities identify dangerous items. While not busy on the job, her interests lie in observing the campus wildlife up close.
She loves squirrels. Every time we walk on campus, she sees a squirrel. You'll see her do kind of like the way lions hunt, that type of walk. Of course, I don't let her get close, but for her, it's all fun.
But Aika is not alone. As a rookie, straight out of the academy joins Campus PD, a Belgian Malinois named Kona. Officer David Shelklin shares Kona finished her certification last Tuesday and will patrol Bronzeville and Harlingen facilities.
Your responsibility would be responding to suspicious packages, suspicious circumstances, whatever it might be.
Whatever situation might arise on campus, these canine officers are ready to step up and keep the community safe. For KVAQ-TV in Bronzeville, Victor Ortega.
As with every new semester at UTRGV, the university is inviting students to Welcome Week, which is actually 2 weeks of activities planned to get students excited for the semester. Picnic with the President invites students to enjoy the company of UTRGV President Guy Bailey, along with some complimentary hamburgers and drinks. UTRGV Day will celebrate the university's 11th anniversary, letting the campus community enjoy free snacks and drinks along with shirts to mark the occasion. Fall 2026's job fair will showcase campus departments alongside regional partners for students interested in part-time work opportunities on both campuses. For the full list of Welcome Week events, visit utrgv.edu/Welcome Week.
That is all we had for today, Vaqueros. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to watch our next newscast when it returns in the fall semester. For KVAQ-TV, I'm Samara Flores.
And I'm Dathan Tervino. Visa, Vaqueros!